Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and I am here once again at a doctor's office. And this one is the one that I have changed. This will be my third one. And this one, the first visit that I was going to have with this one, 2 days before that, somebody in the office, a really smart aleck young woman called and said that the doctor had decided he was going to have an emergency that day. So I had to reschedule. 3 weeks later. Getting appointments with these is tough enough. It's like 4 or 5 months down the road. And it's supposed to be once you, like a regular doctor, your PCP, once that's established, 5 months, 6 months, however many months you have to wait, then it's supposed to be quicker. It's supposed to be like any doctor. Nope. But that's not this doctor. This is a specialist. And so the first appointment, he rescheduled. This is my second one. Let's see how this goes. And I'm hoping he is a mature adult who doesn't throw temper tantrums. You don't have to be even older people. You can find one that throws temper tantrums. So I'm not saying any age group, but I'm saying mature, where they don't throw temper tantrums. The one I had before this threw temper tantrums because he wasn't getting his way with me. Nope. I'm not taking tests. Oh, all these tests. Let's take more tests. Especially ones that put me at physical danger of dying. Just for the test. Just for a test. Okay. It's a procedure, but they could find out so much more. And they could fix it while they're in there. I don't want my life endangered so you can make money. I'm not a fool. Come on, man. 20 years I was a career student. Social and behavioral scientist. I have a clue. Especially when people are lying, because when I said, is it medically necessary? I'd recommend it. See, that's a closed question. The requirement is a yes or no answer. But nope, they're not going to answer yes or no. I'd recommend it. Well, of course you'd recommend it. You make money off of it. Or the group does. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at all. And that's my second. That was my second one. Now this is my third one. And I have been feeling. I actually thought that I had caused myself to practically go into. Like I was going to have a panic attack, but that wasn't it. Because last night I could not sleep very well because these appointments like this, just this one especially, boy, my throat, I'm telling you. But this one especially brought up so many of things like I just mentioned. Just so many times, so many ways that it just wasn't treated right. People who are doctors, I could say just this year, and this is just the 8th month, okay? Just this year, I have been, these healthcare providers, different types, have probably rescheduled different ones of a combination of around 10 times. Okay. Now, I could be exaggerating, but I don't think so. I might be actually underestimating. Because one of them, I've never even seen. I think 2 of them. One of them, of those 2, rescheduled twice, and I never saw them. Okay, had never even seen them. I just canceled it. I canceled it, never rescheduled. Instead of rescheduling it, and the other one, it wasn't. The other one wasn't rescheduling with me, but they were supposed to get some medical records and such before I came in, and the guy promised me, oh, I will make sure I will get that done. Yes, ma'am, I'm going to get that done. And didn't. Twice. Okay. The second time was when he said, oh, I'm going to make sure it's done. I called before. Nope, they didn't have it. So twice. So I never scheduled again with them, you know. So I would consider that 4 times. But like I'm saying, I could be underestimating. That was Adam. He's with me. We're an hour early. We were just sitting at home. I'm serious. And it's like, you know, let's just go. And so we got here like an hour and maybe, actually not exactly an hour. Because I keep forgetting they like you to be here 15 minutes early. So right now would be the appointment time. So anyway, I don't know. Like he says, he goes, it would be 45 minutes from now. If they did, they want you to be there at that time. So it's an hour before the appointment actually. But like he says, he goes to his doctors, and once he checks in, they usually let him in, you know, whenever. I don't know about these. I think they're really stuck on their appointments, and I think the doctors are usually late to the appointment. They reschedule. There was one of them. It was, but this is what this brings about. How they're, you know, you're not treated right. Okay, I understand people when they get mad and they say, "Hey, this is my time," because just think about it. Like today, if they had called me earlier today and said, "Oh, the doctor's not going to be in, so we're going to reschedule," can you imagine? I mean, it's like this other one, that's the one who's supposed to be telling me some things, okay, about, you know, I'm anemic. Apparently I was anemic sometime starting last year. It wasn't until December or January of this year that the new doctor I got, he told me, he said, nobody's, I said, I didn't know that. He said, nobody's told you? I said, no, that I'm anemic. He said, you've been anemic for quite some time. You know, well, this other doctor, she's supposed to be the one to explain it to me. She didn't. And I when I met her, I thought to myself, she's a little bit, you know, they're usually around, you know, we all know how doctors are, but she I would say was in her 40s, and she just had an attitude about her, kind of like she saw herself as superior to everybody on the planet, you know. I mean, that's nothing unusual. I've seen, and people work there, you know, people at the front desk at different doctor's offices, but she was like the mischievous type. Mischievous. I used to pronounce it that way, but mischievous type. And that she was laughing under her breath at everything because of her feeling of superiority. Like I told you, like I've said so many times, I was a career student over 20 years studying social and behavioral sciences, and really studying people. And we did a lot on studying what this means and that means. If a person has this kind of look on their face, or they do this kind of hand gesture, you know, so and so and forth, you know, all this kind of stuff. And there's some people, they just don't know because they didn't go through that, and they think they do. They think they know that, no, it's not that, you know, whatever. You know. But no, over 20 years studying human behavior. So, but anyway, she canceled on me twice. I think it was before I had an appointment with her. And I think that one I finally went to, and then she, I think she canceled twice. And then, and it was like, the whole attitude of her, the place was nice, but it was also a bit fake to me. It's like, and I remember she had a vanity plate on her, well, let's just say it wouldn't make sense what she was driving, but all about the vanity. And I think she did. I think she was the one that was on the road, and I could just tell she just had that attitude. Now she's the one I'm supposed to be waiting on to give me information. Well, I don't have her next appointment is in December. And I made that. It was still July, so I need to find. I'm going to see my regular doctor again in October, and I'm going to talk to him and say, look, you know, when somebody, you know, they have to give a referral. I've been told they don't have to, but they do anyway. Whatever is the case, I'm not into y'all's politics, but I'm going to tell him, you know, I want to know that this is not one who's going to reschedule. Because, you know, just what I mentioned right there, altogether, those were the 6, but there were more. There was this one that's 7, and I don't know. No, but it's probably around 10 or so, give or take. But anyway, I'm going to go in. Okay, I'm back home hours later, and how many hours later? Oh my goodness, 2.5 hours later. And this was my first time to see this guy. He's around my age. First thing he did was to ask me why I have, he said, well, this is your 3rd? And he was trying to set it up to where it's going to be me that looks bad. And no, it's not me. He said, what was wrong with my partner? What did you not like about him? And so I don't want to discuss him. And he said, but what was going on? What was the issue? I said, no, I don't want to discuss him. And Adam was there, and Adam just would not stop talking. So the guy pretty much got his answer during the visit. I did not like the guy. I really don't care for him either. I mean, what the crap are what are they putting up there? This is supposed to be one of the best, seriously, if not the best, here in Texas. And this is what they're putting up? Somebody who's going to grill me? And what about his partner? How about getting some decent people working there? How about that? How about whenever I call their office to leave a message like he told me to, that the message that actually gets to the doctor is what I said, not what she heard while she was looking at her phone, texting somebody else. And she would not leave me, you know, his nurse wouldn't leave me messages that are texts that have no periods, no, this is totally it's not at all professional. Makes no sense, doesn't have any punctuation, doesn't have any capital letters, and she accidentally hit a period and just left it like that instead of correcting it. I'm not all high on grammar and all that, but that was ridiculous and I had to call a triage nurse, and she said, yeah, I've seen the messages they leave you. She was not at all impressed. She thought it was pretty bad too. So let me talk about the doctor. How about the doctor? You know, so it was a temper tantrum. That's what you want to hear. So then you can all turn around and say it's me still, because you're not ready to take responsibility and accountability. Yeah, man, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of telling you.